All right, let's talk about leveling up your Portuguese. Really getting your storytelling skills to the next level. If you've ever felt kind of stuck just using that one basic past tense, well, you're in the right place. We are about to unlock the tools you need to tell stories that are way more complex and, honestly, just more interesting.
So, here's the game plan. We're going to start with the basics, the foundation you probably already know. Then, we'll look at actions that started in the past but kind of stretch into today. After that, we hit the main event, the big one, talking about a past that happened before another past event. I know, it sounds tricky, but it's not. And finally, we'll get into some advanced kind of secret weapon tricks, and most importantly, how people actually talk this way in real life.
Okay, so picture this. Have you ever been in this exact spot? You're telling a story to a friend in Portuguese, you're in the flow, and then you realize, wait, I need to explain something that happened before the main thing I'm talking about. What do you do? How do you say that? That's the puzzle we are going to solve right now. All right, section 1. Let's start on solid ground, with something you're probably already comfortable with. We're calling this the foundation, and it's all about that simple, finished past tense. This is our essential building block for everything else.
So this is your standard go-to past tense. The fancy name is the perfect preterite indicative, but all you really need to remember is that it's for one-and-done actions. It happened, it's finished, it's over. The door is closed on that action.
Okay, let's look at a super clear example. Fui à França no final do ano. Simple enough, right? And it means exactly what you think it means.
I went to France at the end of the year. See? One single completed action. You went, maybe you came back, but the point is, the trip is done. That's our foundation. Simple. Solid.
Okay, you've got the foundation down. Now for our first little level up. What happens when the action isn't totally finished? When something started back then, but it's still kind of going on, or at least still relevant today. This is where we need to talk about continuity.
And for that, we bring in a new tool, the compound perfect preterite. The magic word here, the one thing to remember, is continuity. The action kicked off in the past, but it's been happening over and over, or it's just been continuing right up to now.
And the good news is, making this tense is actually pretty easy. It's a simple recipe. You just grab the verb ter, which means to have, in the present tense. So for I, that's tenho. Then you just tack on the past participle of whatever you're doing. So tenho plus trabalhado, which is worked, gets you tenho trabalhado.
Let's put that into a real sentence. Check this out. Eu tenho trabalhado muito neste projeto ultimamente.
In English, that's I have been working hard on this project lately. That have been part is the big clue, right? It tells you this isn't a one-and-done thing. The work started and it's still happening. It's an ongoing process. Okay, deep breath. Here we go. It's time for the boss level. This is the big one, the tool that's going to let you tell some seriously complex stories. We're talking about how to describe something in the past that happened before something else in the past.
Now, this has a fancy name, the pluperfect preterite. In Portuguese, you'll hear it called the mais que perfeito, which literally means more than perfect. But don't let the name scare you. Its whole purpose in life is just to put past events in the right order. It's all about the sequence of things.
So let's see how it works, how it layers two past actions together. Here's the sentence. Quando cheguei à aula, o professor já fizera a chamada.
So what's going on here? In English, it's when I arrived at class, the teacher had already done the roll call. Bam! That little verb, fizera, that's our pluperfect in action. It's the signpost telling us, hey, the roll call happened before I walked in the door. Two past events, but now we know exactly which one came first.
But wait, there's more. This simple pluperfect has a few other tricks up its sleeve. Some, let's call them secret powers. Now these are more advanced techniques, the kind of stuff you'll mostly see in very formal writing or literature.
So it's not just about what happened first. You can use this tense to sound extra sophisticated, or to make these really strong, wishful statements. It can even step in and do the job of other complicated tenses, like the subjunctive. It's pretty versatile.
Let me show you what I mean with that wishing thing. Here's a classic example. Quem me dera namorar aquela morena.
That translates to something like, if only I could date that brunette. See, we're not talking about a sequence of past events anymore. This is pure emotion. It's expressing this powerful, almost poetic wish. It's a really cool tool to have in your back pocket, even if it's not for everyday use.
Okay, so that's the fancy literary version. Super cool to know, but how do people actually say this stuff? In a normal, everyday conversation. That brings us to our final section, the modern, everyday pluperfect.
And this is called the compound pluperfect preterite. Okay, listen up, because this is probably the most important part. It means the exact same thing as that fancy one we just saw, a past before another past. But, and this is a big but, it's way, way more common in spoken Portuguese. This is the one you're actually going to hear and use all the time.
The formula for this one is almost the same as before, but with one tiny, crucial change. You still use the verb ter, but this time you put it in the imperfect tense. So instead of tenho, it becomes tinha. Then you add your past participle. So tinha plus participado gives you tinha participado.
And this, right here, this comparison, is the key takeaway for this whole thing. In a book, you might read something formal like, o gerente já resolvera. But when you're just talking to someone, you are absolutely going to hear, o gerente já tinha resolvido. They both mean the manager had already resolved it, but that second one is how real people actually speak. That's the one you want to use.
So, let's recap. We started with the simple past, leveled up to the ongoing past, and now you've unlocked the boss level. Talking about the past before the past, both the fancy literary way and the super useful everyday way. You officially have the tools to create these rich, layered timelines in your stories. So the only real question left is, what new stories are you going to tell?